In a land where the sun kissed the earth with its golden light, there was a kingdom unlike any other. The people lived in peace and prosperity under the rule of a wise and noble king, whose only son, Prince Kofi, was known throughout the land for his kindness and bravery. But despite all the wealth and power at his fingertips, Prince Kofi felt an emptiness in his heart. He longed for something more, something that the life of a prince could not give him. Little did he know that his longing would lead him to a love so powerful, it would change the fate of the entire kingdom. One day, while riding through a village, Kofi's eyes fell upon a young woman. Her name was Adisa, and she was unlike anyone he had ever seen. Her beauty was simple yet captivating. Her smile radiant with warmth, and her eyes sparkled with a secret that only she knew. Adisa was no ordinary girl. She had lived her entire life in the village, her days filled with the simple joys and hardships of rural life. But there was something hidden beneath her humble exterior, something that drew the prince to her with an irresistible force. Prince Kofi, captivated by Adisa's charm and purity, dismounted his horse and approached her. As their eyes met, a bond was formed, one that neither of them could explain, but both felt deep within their souls. They spoke for hours, the prince and the village girl, and with each word, Kofi found himself falling deeper in love. Adisa's wisdom, her understanding of life, and her kindness touched his heart in ways he had never imagined. But as night fell and Kofi returned to the palace, he knew that his love for Adisa would not be easily accepted. He was a prince, destined to marry someone of noble birth, someone who could strengthen the kingdom with political alliances. Adisa was a commoner, with nothing to offer but her heart. The king and his council had already begun discussing Kofi's marriage, planning to unite the kingdom with a powerful ally. They spoke of duty, of responsibility, but Kofi's mind was elsewhere, lost in thoughts of Adisa. Kofi knew what was expected of him, but his heart was not swayed by duty. He could not imagine a life without Adisa, and so he made a decision that would change the course of his life forever. He would renounce his throne, give up his kingdom, and marry the woman he loved. When Kofi stood before his father, the king, and declared his decision, the court was stunned. The king, though heartbroken, respected his son's choice, and so the prince gave up everything, his title, his wealth, his power, for love. Their wedding was simple, held in the very village where they had met. Kofi was now a common man, and Adisa was his bride. But as they stood together, ready to face their new life, a dark shadow loomed over them, one that neither of them could see. For Adisa had a secret, one she had kept hidden even from Kofi. A secret so dark, so dangerous, that if it were to be revealed, it could destroy not only their love, but the entire kingdom. She was cursed, born under a blood moon, a child of both light and darkness. From the moment she was born, strange things happened around Adisa. Crops withered in her presence, animals vanished without a trace, and the villagers whispered that she was cursed. But she had never believed it, until now. That night, as Kofi and Adisa slept, the curse awakened. A dark figure, the embodiment of the curse, lurked outside their home, watching, waiting. It had been waiting for this moment, the moment when the curse would be fulfilled. The figure entered their home, its presence cold and menacing. It moved silently, its shadow falling over the sleeping couple. Adisa stirred in her sleep, her heart pounding as the curse began to take hold. Adisa awoke with a start, her heart racing, her body trembling. She could feel the curse consuming her, feel it taking over her mind and soul. She knew that she had to leave, had to protect Kofi from the darkness within her. With tears streaming down her face, Adisa wrote a farewell letter to Kofi, explaining everything, the curse, the danger, and why she had to leave. She couldn't bear the thought of him being destroyed because of her. When morning came, Kofi awoke to an empty bed. Adisa was gone, and in her place was the letter that would shatter his world. As he read her words, his heart broke, but he knew he had to find her to save her no matter the cost. Kofi searched the village, the forests, the mountains, calling out her name, his voice filled with desperation. But Adisa was nowhere to be found, and with each passing moment, the fear in his heart grew. Far away, at the edge of a dark and ancient forest, Adisa stood, no longer the woman Kofi had loved, but a creature of darkness. The curse had fully manifested, and she had become something terrible, something that could not be undone. Kofi found her at last, but the woman he loved was gone. In her place was a creature of the night, torn between her love for him and the darkness consuming her. He pleaded with her, begged her to come back to him, but it was too late. In a final, desperate act, Adisa turned and disappeared into the forest, leaving Kofi alone, heartbroken, and with nothing but the memory of their love. The curse had claimed her, and with her, it had destroyed everything they had fought for. Word spread quickly through the kingdom, and with it came a scandalous rumor that the prince's love had been cursed from birth, that she was never truly human. The kingdom, once peaceful and prosperous, now lay in ruins, the result of a love that was never meant to be. And so, the story ends, not with a happily ever after, but with a kingdom in shambles and a love lost to the darkness. But there are many more tales to be told, so subscribe to African Mystic Folktales. And join us as we uncover more stories of mystery, magic, and destiny.